Hello everybody, this is Pastor Felix coming to you. Welcome to Endure to the End. Just want to encourage you guys as we walk through this new year, 2019, ask yourself, how prepared are you mentally, emotionally, physically, and most importantly, spiritually? Are you spending time in your word? Are you spending time in prayer and listening? That's a big deal right there. Just listening to the leading of the Holy Spirit. It's the best prep you ever have. But on the physical level, something that I think is a good idea is to take a look at your inventory. Where are you at? Do you have what you think you need for you and your family? And just an idea. And I just want to preface this with the statement of, I don't think the way I'm doing it is necessarily the best. You do what you need to do for you. I'll do what I need to do for ours. And there's plenty of guys out there who have a lot more detailed videos. But I just want to encourage you and give you some ideas about what I'm doing. And right here I have, if you can see, is some items that we've put in a 5-gallon bucket. Here's some bags, Mylar bags with beans and rice. You noticed the ones that are shrunk tight. We put oxygen absorbers in there. We sealed them with a hair iron of sorts, and you can see that they pulled tight. This last one here did not. Something happened when I sealed it. It wasn't sealed properly. I had to reseal it. And at this point, I don't know that it's going to draw as tight as it was. However, it's still in this well secured now Mylar bag. And I have here a 5-gallon food grade bucket. It was from a company, Kellogg. It had pesto basil in it at one time. I've cleaned it out really well. Here we also have some loaded mashed potatoes. Here's something interesting that I found that I don't know that you would care for, but it's a chunky light tuna in a pouch. And it shows best use by date of June 2021. Was just now the beginning of 2019, January 2019, while I'm recording this. 19, 20, and 21. So this is going to last 3 years. And so hopefully it'll still taste as good and fresh. That's what they're advertising. Most things will last a little bit longer. I'm not saying to push it or anything else. So we got taco seasoning, a chili mix. We got some water mixes and instant coffee, some bouillon, instant oatmeal, and some angel hair pasta, which cooks very quickly. So here what we have is the beginnings, or how do I want to say this, ingredients to make a tasty meal of some sort. And what the plan or goal is to put them in 5-gallon buckets if you have them. And buckets can stack very well. They're easy to carry, easy to handle. I've seen people put just 5 gallons of rice or 5 gallons of beans. One of the reasons why I don't want to do that at this point is if you open that, you say you use 1 gallon to prepare the meal of rice or beans. Now you have 4 gallons sitting there unsealed any longer. That's just one thing to consider. This way I can open what I need as needed in the amounts I need. Additionally, there's something that I heard someone else talk about. If I had to just grab a bucket, I have enough recipes in that one bucket to make a meal. Have some seasonings in there to make it tasty, and that's better than just eating a bunch of rice or a bunch of beans all by itself. If I had just enough time or just grabbed one bucket, I can have a meal and be satisfied with that. I'm okay. I have some flavored waters, some instant coffee, chicken and beef bouillon, noodles, potato mix, taco seasoning, chili seasoning. Who knows where I perhaps I can find some meat where I'm going, whatever the case is. And the worst comes to it, I have that tuna in there that's gonna last 3 years. That I can get a good source of protein and flavor from these things. I also have a small box of 22 shells. This was something that I got a great deal on. I just had some smaller boxes sitting around. Now these things all fitting in this bucket is a little bit snug. However, it does work. It is easily managed, easily stacked and stored. So just some food for thought. Perhaps you can change it up a little bit about what you would put in there. When I was walking through the store, there's a lot more instant pastas with the seasonings already in them for $1 or $2, and they looked very tasty. This is just what I have for now. These were very much so purchased on a budget at Aldi's. This whole bucket, I think less than $10. Boy, oh boy, I'm looking at that. Some of these seasoning packets are 60 cents a piece. $1 for the potatoes and the pasta and the rice. Yeah, so everything in here is about is less than $10. The bucket itself was $1. It's recycled from storing some pesto basil. I found a local person who, they have a pole barn full of them, believe it or not. And as I need them, I buy them because I don't have the space. But at any rate, you could use a Home Depot or Lowe's bucket, or even Walmart now sells in their paint department clean buckets with lids with a seal that you can get there. That's not a bad idea. You don't have to use Mylar bags. They sell beans and rice in small 1-gallon packets themselves that I'm sure would be good if you put them in the buckets. But I don't want to just eat beans and rice with no seasoning, no anything. I'll probably put in some salt and pepper packets along with that in here. Just food for thought. If you have any ideas, let me know. Comment below. I'm going to ask that you like the video, subscribe, and I'd like to hear from you. Maybe we can evolve these into something that I haven't thought of yet myself, and maybe you have. Want to hear from you? Let me know. Contact me. Thanks a lot for watching, and be blessed.